J. Ruff, can I get you to introduce yourself real quick just for the purpose of the recording?
I'm Jay Ruff, the great gift of hands.
And what do you do, Giraffe?
I'm a professional master barber, former barber competitor, inspirer, culture, needle pusher,
And
et cetera, et cetera.
where do you
Uh,
do?
I'm in Salon Suites in Orland Park, Illinois.
All right.
Yeah.
What handle on social media platforms so people can find you and follow you?
You can only find me right now on Instagram at the great gifted hands. TheGreatHandz.
All right. Cool.
That's good. Mikhail?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
I'm McKill. My brand is Christian McKill. I got a lifestyle brand, and I'm also a barber. That's about it.
Where are you from?
Well, I guess I've been out of cutting hair for about the last 8 months because I've been kind of going through cancer and transplant. So just getting cleared to start getting back up and running. So just kind of picking up and really just getting my business back up.
Blessings to you on that, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
fighter.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
look good.
Definitely.
Yeah. You
Miss
in
French?
Indiana, right, Mikael? I don't know if you can hear us.
Yeah, he's in Indiana. Okay. Miss Frenchie, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Frenchie, aka the Dot Connector. I'm a business strategist. I am an immigrant. I moved about 10 years ago from France, and I am located in Illinois, but I help entrepreneurs from every state, or I should say, sometime every country. I help also entrepreneurs in Canada and in my country in France. I help basically people mind their business. This is literally the motto in my business. I help people with a strong foundation and build business that lasts. Most of the time, entrepreneurs who have skill sets, they know how to cut hair and they're very good at it, but all the aspect of the back end of the business is something that is, either, a little bit more challenging for them. So I'm there to support that aspect.
That's good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So where I want to emphasize or where I want to land the conversation, I want to do it in a timely manner is I want to emphasize the importance of identifying mistakes that we're making and learning from it and not letting that be the reason why we can't move forward because we just so caught up in the mistakes, but learning from them. So I want to break this up into a couple of into a few segments. I'll start it off, and then Jay, if I can pass it to you, just if you can identify uh,
Hold on.
uh, that you might have had a similar experience, or maybe if you didn't have like the similar experience, if you can understand why that was a mistake, and then Frenchie, if you can close out the segment with just your thoughts on how we can turn it around. That sound good?
I'm sorry, Mike. Can you repeat that again?
So I'm gonna start it off, and then I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
Okay.
Um, just so this first segment is mixing personal and business finances. Um, one of the ways that I started doing it was one because I don't have myself on payroll. So because I don't have myself on payroll, and you're just doing day to day stuff, it's easier sometimes to just pay for some things using my business card. And then sometimes if I forget my business card and I got my personal card, I might use a personal card for business stuff. And it's so easy to get it mixed up. And I blame that a lot on not having discipline, but more importantly, not being organized. Now, how that really hurt me was personally, Michael Banks owes the state of Illinois back taxes. But Michael Banks was putting money was not taking money for himself because the art gallery, Image Studio, had the money. Michael Banks is not getting paid that much. Art gallery, Image Studio has it. Well, Michael Banks, because he's mixing and mangling personal and business expenses, I broke the corporate veil. Last year, state of Illinois says, nope, because you broke that corporate veil, now there's a levy on Art Gallery Image Studio now. I goofed up and I knew better, but I was being lazy. One, I was being lazy. And then two, I didn't have everything organized in the way that I need. And then three, I did so much by myself that although I'm knowledgeable, I know how to do stuff, I should have had active communication with my CPA. I should have had them more involved. I should have had more calls with my business strategist. I didn't do that. What I did was, I've been doing it like this for 20 years. I'm okay. Nothing bad is going to happen until it did. So Jay or Mikhail, I don't know if you all had any like situations where it was just, you know, you had your business card and you decided to buy something personal with it, or you had your personal card and you decided to do something like business business wise with it. But have you all ever mixed personal and business expenses?
You want to go first, Miguel?
Yeah, I have, man. I've been out and been out bought supplies or went online and ordered something, and I'm ordering with my personal card, and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't know, like I didn't put this on the Christian McHale. So man, I've done that before, man. I try to just make sure now. I mean, I just make sure I just focused on, hey, if I'm doing this, make sure that I got this business card out for this, and if I'm doing this, this is personal. But no, I definitely have,
Yeah.
man. No, I definitely have. I definitely have. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
I
like,
did it for
oh man,
years and
what
I
am I
just
doing?
thought, man, ain't nothing bad gonna happen. Been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, most of the time they wait. They watch. They
Yeah.
wait. They watch, and then
Yeah.
roll the
They definitely
dice. Which one's gonna get it this year? That one. And they
got me.
build up. The stuff. So um, it's unfortunate. So this is the thing. First off, is like, okay, now you in this situation. It's more like, let's find a solution on how to get out of it. But most definitely, if you sort of knew, and your mentality was, nothing's going to happen because I've been doing that for a couple of years, but know that you are ripping off also yourself and your business at the same time, because you definitely could not utilize all the tax, um the thing that you can write off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you keep on commingling. So this is not going to work. You can't come back now and say, sorry, let me do it right. It's like, no, it's too late now, so now you're ripping, yourself off, because you're in that levy and you're going to have to take care of that. First off is, I hope you did contact them to try to work out a payment plan,
Yes.
things like that, or talk to your CPS since, so they can help you out, with the proper planning, right? But to avoid this, let's talk about, for the viewers, so they don't get into that situation. The first thing is, no one, when you get into business, no one is giving you a handbook saying this is what you should be doing, right? So, and there is too many things on the internet right now that push you actually to make mistakes, to be honest with you. There is a
Yeah.
lot of people who are telling you have access to
Yeah.
funding with no doc, no this, no that, and it's very dangerous, because it leads for people to think that they can have access to a large amount of money, or they don't have to worry about taxes when they do a business. You know what I mean? You're an
Yeah.
entity, you have an EIN number, so it's going to be tracked at some point. So it's your choice to file, not filing, do the proper deduction or not. If you don't have a CPA, then you're on your own, and most of the time you're not getting the major, good deduction that your business should be entitled for, right? Because this country is a business, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
an entity, it's a corporation. So it does the same thing. You just need to know those rules. So I would say this: the first thing that someone who have a business, and you don't have to be the, just brand new. It can be someone, or I help some clients that they've been in business for 10 years. They just didn't know, right?
Right.
The first things first would be to definitely have that great separation. This is why you have an entity. You created that LLC, corporation, whatever entity you decided on. It's to create that separation. Why are you now commingling and, messing it around? It's
Mm-hmm.
like you decided on making that separation, do it all the way through. It will protect you and your asset, because when you do that, that means that now you inviting everybody to your house, and everybody can go in your fridge and get whatever the heck they want. So anything that you're going to own personally now is going to be also out to the public for them to decide that, well, we're going to take some of this too. So you really want to, from the beginning, is to have a proper bank account. I'm not saying you're going to get into funding right away, but create that separation and start by having a business bank account. And you only do banking through this. You let people pay you the haircut or whatever, and you link that to, Stripe, PayPal, or whatever, or even Zelle, whatever you want to. But it needs to go to that bank account. Now, the first major rule is pay yourself 10%. You don't know what you're going to gain or whatever. Get that habit of getting 10% of what you're making. This is the first thing. And then think about what is the taxes. It's about 18 to 23%, depending on, what you're going to earn. But the rule of thumb would be start by putting aside 18%. So whatever, you do that each month. Now, the first thing is, not everyone will understand finance. It's okay. There is tons of, if you can't pay a CPA to set you up, simple. You have QuickBooks or you have software.
Yeah.
Just sign up, link that account, and it'll do the rest for you. When I started my business in 2018, that the first guy who did my headshot, I was asking him. I said, "You doing my headshot for my website, but I have no freaking clue." so, and so it was like, I have this software. It's called 17 Hats, and it does everything for me: the contract, reminding people, sending quotes, sending invoice, everything. And he was doing the accounting. I still to this day have this software that manage the back end of my business, because I'm a solopreneur. So it does everything for me. I'm no way in shape CPA, but I learned from the CPA, a dope person, Mr. William. And I learned after that a lot of people were having the same issue as me. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing and what am I supposed to do? So the first thing is, try to get an understanding that if you have a proper process, eliminate the stuff that, you're not a pro at this. So don't try to figure that out yourself.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to, make a mess, right? And you're going to waste time, and then you probably, not going to be consistent with it. Just get the help, that you can. And if you can't afford, like I said, a CPA, when you start, you don't really need a CPA. You just need to know how to categorize. So it's either you get like a consult with somebody, or ask someone who's in business for longer than you, and ask them
Yeah.
how they did it. That's the biggest thing. The person is not, I mean, they're going to take probably 5 minutes. They're not going to, do a consult with you, but at least you heading to the right direction. Is ask someone who's in your industry, hey, what do you use? You know, and then after that, you'll get straight. So that's really like the first few steps to get away from doing those mistakes. Second is, if you do stuff on the business side, know that it's most of the time, 95% of the time, what you're going to do is going to be tax deductible. Don't you want that? I think you do. So think of it as your meal. Like, this is the most like redundant thing we eat every day.
Yeah.
Know that for entrepreneurs, this is tax deductible. Do that with, that debit card that you have. I don't like debit cards, but if you start and you don't have a credit card, start with this. But start getting familiar with treating your business like a business. This is not, a hobby. So separate those things. That's going to be the biggest thing. And then I would say that if for any reason you kind of scared of the taxes, also don't rob yourself from growing, Because if you keep on deducting everything, then your business is going to show that it's not making money. Therefore, when you're there and you need to buy the equipment, you want to get a bigger suite, or you want to get your own, school, or doing an online, or you want to pay for more marketing or things like that, you're cutting yourself short because when you go to the bank, they're saying, well, we're going to lend you something when your business is not making no money because you keep on deducting. And so you're like, no, I'm making like 100K and stuff. And but you declare that you're making like less than 30. We ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
lend you money. Does
Mm-hmm.
that make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then the third thing is, think about, you an employee of your business. Believe it or not, a lot of people love to say I'm the CEO, stuff like that. If the business is not, you're an employee of your business right now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
At least you control, that aspect. But think of it that you want to leverage that for yourself. This is why we became entrepreneurs, right? It's to control our calendar, what we like to do, and because we have in mind of a way of living, right? So let's not, strip ourselves off from that, because if, again, you're showing that you are an employee of your business and the business not making money, you're not making money because you're not paying yourself, and you want to buy a nice house, a nice car, you have no income.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna, so that's where it's like, think of the future too. It's not cool to pay taxes, all the time, but this is, think of it that when you were an employee, they were taking your taxes anyway from your paycheck.
Yep.
So now
Yep.
you have to think as, what are the methods that can allow myself not to be taxed like crazy? That's also tax planning. Your CPA should know. And
Mm-hmm.
your CPA, if you have a good CPA, he should have a plan for you. If it's someone who's just typing numbers on a screen, you can do the same damn thing. So know that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying somebody, ask them what they're good at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all
That's
right,
good.
I talked too
That's
much.
good. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Frenchie. So that leads me into like, because I've been doing this for 25 years now, I've been doing the same thing. I never ran into any problems. I procrastinated about putting myself on payroll because, I'm I'm transferring over funds from the business account over to the owner's personal account. So that counted, right? So, but the problem is that type of laziness and skipping over steps also, when I first got into structuring my pricing and I got into figuring out how much does it cost me to run my business, I did it maybe twice, and I don't think I've even updated the what it cost me to do business. I don't think I've updated it since 2017, 2018. J Ruff or Mikhail, do you know how much it costs for you to run your business? J Ruff, the salon suite right now, do you know, like, to the penny, how much it costs for you to grow it?
Nah, not really. Not at all, actually. Because so I think one of the things, as Frenchie was speaking, I was just remembering from day one when I was first kind of being interested in barbering. A barber at the time told me, and he wasn't the only person that told me this. Oh man, it's tax free money. You don't have to worry about, what I'm saying, the IRS. So it was conditioned in my mind that this is all my money. Nobody ever got to know about it until I tried to
Mm,
buy a house one day.
mm,
And it was like, you got to make a certain amount to qualify to get the type of house you want to get. And I was like, man, so okay, let's do it. So we had to put the numbers in. So I'm already in penalty because I hadn't been filing taxes because I didn't have to because I'm a barber and all of my money is my money. And
right.
it ended up putting me in a rearage super ugly. I'm still in there, like deep in there, like 20 plus
Mm-hmm.
thousand with the
Mm-hmm.
IRS. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, uh, nah, man, I think that mindset we just conditioned into, like that's how we mix our money too. Even when Frenchie said something about lunch, like we don't even think about that, but yeah, we eat lunch and we eat every day. I mean, we eat on work hours every day. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. So for me now, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin to even break all of that down. To be honest, I just kind of go at it with a almost hustler type of, for lack of a better word, street mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's good. Now, Mikhail, what you may not know is that when I was watching you, I think it was a couple of years ago, you was like house hunting at one point in time, and just the way you moved in business, you're probably the top five, one of the top five people at that time, 2016, 2017, that inspired me to take my business serious because of how you moved in business. What inspires you to kind of start off on the right foot?
Man, I think that was just from being like coming from corporate America. It's like, I guess my first half of my career was in corporate America. I went to school for business. Did a little bit of management. I done insurance for like 8 years, and then I just kind of transferred that to when I started doing barbering. Just kind of transfer that because when I bought my first house, I was in corporate America, and then when I bought my house I got now, which is like twice as big, I'm doing barbering, but and it's like it was twice as hard to get, but just just man, just seeing that, and I've always just kind of like read little different business books and little seminars stuff like that, but just really just man, I just know I know that's one of the things that like when it comes to like your taxes and finance being an entrepreneur, that's one of the things I look at. And I was lucky enough also. My mother used to work for a bank, and they done like one of their specialties
Nice.
was doing mortgages. So like when her boss sat down with me when I did my first house, that was over I did my first house was like 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. She sat down with me and said, "Look, you gotta have this, and this. Like these are things that you gotta have. It don't matter who you know. If you don't got these things, you ain't get nothing. Like this ain't the thing about somebody. These things in order. It don't matter who you know.
Yeah.
You ain't
Yeah.
get nothing."
Yeah.
So just kind of set me down, man. Set me down and school me on that. So
That's good.
just
That's
kind of
good.
do
I
it that
mean,
way, man.
it's like one of those things where I don't think I've ever shared that with you, but it's probably something you might never even got a comment on there. But I remember it when I saw it, and I was like so inspired that you know what, the way he's approaching barbering, the way you approach business, the way you approach your product development, I knew that you didn't start the same way as me. You didn't start the same way as me and J. Ruff. Like I didn't know that you came from corporate, but you run your business like a
Yeah,
corporation.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um and
he's good.
yeah, Miss Frenchie, I'm in trouble with
Oh,
this. Yeah. What is it costing me in my business to not know how much it cost me to run it?
well, it costs you to be Levi right now,
Absolutely.
and Ralph is costing him 20K,
Mm-hmm.
right?
yeah,
I think, right? But again, I'm saying this, it's not fun. I know that you guys, it's not fun, but you still have a smile on your face. So that means that it didn't make you stop barbering, right?
Yeah.
So that's that thing. The first thing first is that you need to understand that you start this business with your passion. This is what is going to keep it going. Second thing is we need to stop thinking or treating our business as a hobby.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. You can cut hair tomorrow with no license, no, from your home, whatever, right? You decided to be in business. So therefore, you need to treat it like so, right?
Mm.
And then I'm pretty sure you have ambition of doing something else, growing it, right? It's not just I'm just going to care, even though this is your passion. There is something like Mikael, you can see because he have different type of area that he's growing his business with. He's Christian. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher it. Christian Mikael. uh,
Yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah. Christian accounting. Yeah.
which is dope because that's where I come from. That's my corporate side from France. 18 years in the fashion industry in Paris. This is why I have all spreadsheet and stuff like that. Organization. I've been conditioned that way for 18 years in fashion, negotiating pricing and seeing spreadsheet and over forecasting, the sales, how much we need to get back, the margin, all that stuff. So I have this within me. But okay, let me just backtrack. Sorry. But the thing is, it's going to cost you not to go to the proper foundation. And once again, I want people to, I'm not pointing out, oh, you're doing it all wrong. I'm just pointing out that it's okay not to know, but it's not okay to keep not knowing.
Yeah,
Right.
that's good.
And so that's where it's like, the first year, it's kind of, you're trying to test out the waters, right? Let me figuring this out. But we in 2023, there is no way that you cannot find a good mentor if you don't have the capital. This is the biggest thing ever on small entrepreneurs, I would say. And we start small, but we're not staying small, right? Is there is enough people out there that you can join a or have a mentor, or like I said, sometimes like even those networking event. That's the biggest thing. I hope you guys, if you attend that dope networking event, was being inspired of somebody who had a table, like the doctor, the hair doctor,
Dr. Barber, or
doctor.
it
Yeah,
was a couple of doctors.
yeah,
Yeah,
couple of doctor. Well, his marketing was on point. Me as a business, person, and not being in the same industry as you guys, the first thing was my eye was like, oh, he got his marketing down,
yeah,
right? The whole setup, how he was, positioned was, on point. Not everybody going to be that way, but he probably learned it from somebody. That's for
yeah,
sure. You get what I'm saying?
yep,
So it's that part is like, don't be afraid to go and ask someone that is better than you. This is where you're going to learn the best way, right? um but and then if you open your bank account, just know this: each Bank of America, Chase, they have a platform for business owner for free. They will put you with a business consultant. They're not as good as me, I'm kidding, but for sure. um but they will put you on for free with a business consultant, and you can have that help for free. So,
yeah,
and of course, they're in finance, they will, teach you all those things. They want you to be successful because they want you to make more money and put more money in their pocket. So,
yeah,
utilize everything.
Yeah.
For me, this is where I'm like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ask questions. And that's the biggest thing is I was never afraid of sounding dumb or anything, but I'm like, you got to teach me, you got to show me, how does that work? Because
hmm,
like right now, I can't afford this, but maybe I can learn this skill set and do it on my own. You get what I'm saying?
absolutely,
So that's the first thing is, and also like you said, the pricing. A lot of people are wishy-washy with the price. um we want to do good cuts, we want to provide the good products or whatever you guys are using to make sure that their skin are good or stuff like that. But you have to understand that sometimes we only thinking of what we are using, but your time yourself, you getting paid, you should get paid for your time too.
yeah,
And most of entrepreneur, they're not paying for their time, so they are working for free for the business. That makes sense
yeah.
what I'm saying?
That makes absolute yeah,
Right? So this is where it's like you got to put also some sort of you got to know why you're working for. So if the first few years you might really have a small pay, but you want to start establishing that because the even the bankers, they're going to pay attention to this. If they see that every 2 weeks there is $200 who's being transferred directly for salary,
hmm,
that's going to show that you have already this in place, so you really are handling a business.
yeah,
So there is tons of ways of being able to elevate your business or the knowledge of running your business, not so much to have to sit down with me and pay for a consultation. You can really, like I said, find ways of being a mentee, or asking your bank, to be in place with their business, module that they have for free. And there is plenty of ways, right? Um, just don't waste the time of the people that want to do it for free for you. That means that you're going to
Yeah.
have to put some work into. Um, but there is absolutely a way. Just ask. I'm okay, JRF. I'll contact you after. I want to help you with your forecast, and I want to set you
I
up.
appreciate that, Frenchie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So thank you. Thank you so much. I want to move into this last segment before we close out. So, one of the things that made me feel confident that everything was going to be okay, that I was going to be just fine, was because I always overcompensated how talented I was for poor management. I thought if I worked hard enough and I was talented enough, if I put out amazing work, nobody would ever know this dirty secret of how disorganized I am, that I got back taxes, that you know I spent 15 years of my career making enough money to pay expenses, but was not profitable enough to grow. But what's most shameful about it, which I don't feel that shameful about, because you don't know what you don't know. But I thought that that was okay, and I just accepted that that's what life is. I made just as long as I made enough to pay bills. I had no foresight on, okay, what am I gonna do when I can't physically work the way I'm working now? What am I gonna do if I get sick? What am I gonna do? Like, I had no plan in place. I was just working like like a robot, no objective. And I and the point is that I just thought that if I worked hard enough, whatever I'm messing up on, it'll be okay. Here we go, 2023. No, 2022 is when the Livy happened. Everything caught up with me, and the state of Illinois could care less about how good I was with my Clippers. The state of Illinois could care less about the growth of my business. You know what? I take that back. They cared. That's why they came after me, because once I started taking my business serious, it was shortly after Mikhail. We first met 2016, right? 2016. So you also my interaction with you also inspired me to make moves that I never made. So 2016 was the first time that I made an investment in business coaching and strategy. And that was the first time that I flew out of the state to go be a part of a networking convention that I can learn. And from that start, my business grew 30% on average every single year since 2016. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you're right to Organo. Yep. However, my business grew on an average of 30% every year, but my mentality didn't keep up with it.
mm,
Now I'm trying to catch up. Now I'm slowing down so I can get it together. And I know that I can get more clarity by just being honest and open and transparent. And I'm talking about these things. I'm hearing from other brothers, other sisters that are going through similar struggles, similar disasters, and then you end up meeting somebody like Frenchie that's like, "Hey, I can connect those dots for you. I can help you get from point A to point B and see how these fit together. And if for whatever reason you don't have a point B because you skipped over that and there's a C, I can show you how to get around all that. All is not lost." Um, J Ruff, me and you, we kind of come from a similar background in craftsmanship. Do you relate to overcompensating weaknesses in business with trying to cover that up with being highly skilled?
Absolutely. It's and the best thing I can say it's similar to fitness or nutrition. You if you eat like trash tonight, you can't outwork that tomorrow. You know what I mean? You can't go lift all the weights in the world and think that you gonna be back good because it just don't work that way. So it's the same thing in business. You know what I mean? Like these these habits, what they do is they create bad momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that's what I fell victim of, just bad momentum and feeling like, hey, I can kill it and make this, but I'm still doing the same bad practices. So it's gonna catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? So and
Yeah.
it's hard to get out of that hole, man. It's hard to get out of that hole, and you gotta have a killer's mindset to even like what we doing. Like it's kind of like, I mean, I'm still fighting it. You know what I mean? Just fighting
Hmm.
it to get up out of it, man. So it'll be over one day. It can't last
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah. 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 That's good. Hey,
Everybody,
go ahead, Frenchie.
I think everybody been there. My first time, my first year when I filed and I hired the CPA because same thing. I had that mindset. I'm like, I'm not even going to try to figure that part out. I'm going to go straight to a professional. Here, I did at least my profit and loss and all that stuff. But she filed it for me, but did not even explain. All she was telling me is like, this is how much you're going to pay. And my first time paying taxes on the business was like over 10K, which was already, I'm like, I was used to tax back as a W-2. Now you're telling me 10K. Like, oh, I was not, I had no idea. So when she told me this, she was like, oh, just work out a payment plan. I do this stuff like she told me online. I had no clue that there was at that time the IRS, federal, and then there's the state.
Yeah.
So I missed the whole part of the state. And then I'm receiving a collection notice, be in collection if I don't pay. I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm already on payment plan and I'm da 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 da. I called the dude and he's like, no, ma'am, you're talking to us about the federal, we state. I'm like, I don't know what, but and so that was a lesson moment for me. It was like, I thought that because I went to a CPA and she tell me this and this and that, I didn't do my due diligence because I put my whole trust in her saying, oh, it's filed. I did my thing, all that stuff. But I didn't know that there was those two, the federal and then the state. And then that's where I started to dig into this. I'm like, never again. I will let just my full faith in somebody and not doing my business, my boss thing, which is to double check, right?
Yeah.
So there is that. And then second is that even though you pay a professional, ask, show me what you're doing. Why is it going this way or that way? So, and then third thing is we're in Illinois, guys. Taxes are like, so you go to other states who have no income taxes, yeah, they don't have that problem.
Hey, Ja.
J-Rob,
Hey,
you didn't. You cute.
look. Hey, look. Hey, look, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Look, the allergies, man, they start. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, hey, look, this live, man. This how it's supposed to go, man.
No,
This is the
hey,
blooper number one, man.
it's all good. We were talking about taxes. You're right. Let's. Um, Let me just say this. You're supposed to do it quarterly. Don't wait the last. Then you're gonna let just clarify this part. First off, I'm not a tax professional, but I learned from them. So I'm gonna tell you like this. I got to cover my butt. Saying this. Um, what he's saying is that it's true that you are allowed to wait, but know that you're gonna pay more because those interest rate you're supposed to file quarterly. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. So Frenchie, for those of y'all who are on here now, there's a few people in the chat. Clippers, that's in the chat room. He says, "Great topic. I'm working on something big for the industry to solve this for us all in the industry. Stay tuned." So I want to have them on, and those that are watching in the future, I've actually had a chance to participate in one of Frenchie's workshops. I know that she's holding back. I know that she's not giving out the gems that she could give. She hasn't even started scratching the surface yet. So what I want you all to know is that Frenchie, if you have availability in your schedule, are you still taking coaching calls and all that stuff too?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So can I get you to just kind of bring this to like a close so that we can kind of land it? Like we got Christian McHale on here who comes from a corporate background, who on the outside looks like he has it all together. And for the most part, he's a true inspiration to me. But he's on here on the live saying that, hey, I can relate. I go through stuff too. Jay Ruff, me and him come from like the same place where it's about that craft, it's about that passion of like cutting, and we made some mistakes along the way. It's not the end of the world, but we got two different ends of the spectrum. I know so many people who have gotten so frustrated that they just left. They left the industry. They went and got other jobs because they lost hope. You have some that go get other jobs due to burnout and other personal reasons, but there's a difference between someone who's burnt out, someone who just needs a break because they've given themselves too much. There's a difference between that person and the person that feels like there's no hope in the barber industry to grow the way that they want, whether it's with, you know, benefits or financial growth that they want. There is a way that as service providers, we can have a substantial lifestyle. We can grow really nice incomes in service based business. But can you kind of like bring us to like a close of how, that first step that we can do to get on the right track?
First, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. It's going to be okay, really. The first thing is write down what is your end goal? What do you foresee in your business? We started with a vision, with something that, come to life. This is what we're doing. This is, the gift that was given to us, and we're doing it. What do I foresee myself or my business in a couple of years, right? This is going to help you bring the path of what should be done. And then I'm sorry, but you're going to have to look inward too, because we're talking about finance. and I said, like, I'm transparent. I'm French. I just speak my mind, not to be mean, but sometimes I feel like people are giving you, robbing you and whatever. If your personal finance are not good, how are your business finance are going to be good?
Yeah.
You got to start with yourself first. And
Yeah.
first also because your business started with you.
That's
So you're
good.
going to have to change those personal habit of yours. And if your personal finances are not in place, then definitely you don't know what you're going to do with your business. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So get better for self first. And, it's going to take a while. But again, you can find that. And that's what I, also, been known for is that I'll tell you like it is, but I'll tell you with the solution. There is no way, no how. Like I had a 300 credit score, all that stuff. Like I've been through it all. So there is a way, right? So this is why mind your business.
Hmm.
Stop looking at everybody, what they're doing and how they look like they got it. Because you scratch the surface, they've been through the stuff, and just ask. Don't be afraid to ask. So that would be my first thing, is to write down exactly where you want to be at for your business, how you foresee a good life for yourself, because we got to keep on dreaming, and then we'll find out the path and the game plan for putting your business in place. Simple as that.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, Frenchie. How can people book a coaching session with you?
Absolutely. So you can find me at Frenchie the dot connector on Instagram, or my website is at no my website is www.duboisbees.com. So
Good.
actually, I'm going to put it in the chat.
Yeah.
And
No
I
problem.
love this. Someone, Jamal, Jamal is in it, hilarious. He said, Frenchie sounds like she charged like the IRS. She knows her stuff.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
don't. I actually I went to a conference last summer, and Mikhail. I went to Maddie. I'm one of his student, and he told me I was charging way too low. So, but I'm for, hey, we all start somewhere,
Yeah.
and so Dubois Bees. I'm sorry, I'm not good at doing two things at once. Boom.
So
There you go. It's in the chat, guys.
nice.
That
And
was
then
cool. That was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have it again, all in the description as well. So J Ruff and Mikhail, and those of y'all who are in the chat. Now, what's cool about the chat is that I don't, unless you type something, I don't know who's in the chat. I don't know who's listening. I can see people popping in and out. I know about how 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 many people that there is, but that's really cool. It allows you to kind of dip in and have to be seen, and
How,
and
how many
that's
people
all
on,
good.
Mike?
It's right now currently it's like 7 people total right now,
Okay.
which is
Nice.
which is great personally for me. I mean, it's a meaningful conversation. But what I wanted to say to you, J. Ruff and Mikhail, I think this was a good conversation because I want to do podcasting more regularly, and I think one of the ways to keep the content going is that I want to start a book club. The book that I'm currently reading right now is The Atomic Habit. I just finished up
Mm,
the Compound Effect,
I got
and
that
I'm
too.
coupling that.
I got that.
Yeah, so I'm coupling that with the Atomic Habit. But what I want to do is take every chapter and kind of like summarize it and see how can we take that and apply it to a service-based business. How can we take those little so I'm in that first chapter right when he talks about being 1% better every single day. And for me, and my takeaway from this is, or like exactly what Frenchie said, like just take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay. And that for me to turn this thing around, I gotta start working on me first. So so that's my big takeaway from that. Everybody else who's on here, and who will see this in the future, like join in the book club. I have not figured out how I'm going to show show the content. I don't know if I'm gonna put the book club stuff in the actual podcast section, but I'm gonna do it somehow. But I'm forcing myself, and because I said it out loud, and Jay Ruff is on here, and Jamal is in the chat, I know y'all gonna hold me accountable. I know y'all gonna hold me accountable. Jay Ruff is probably gonna be more on like the nutrition side, like, dude, what do you put in your body? and 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 Mikhail, I always appreciate how you check up on me as a person, and that's another thing. I spent 20 years of my life being alone in business. I did everything by myself, and for the first time, I feel like I have a community of people that, at my lowest moment, people are pushing me back up, and I appreciate that all. Um, J. Ruff and Mikhail, y'all have anything y'all want to say before we close out?
I want to say, one, I appreciate you for putting this platform out here. I think it's super dope, and one of the things that's dope about it is it gives um, it give us opportunity to rip the mask off. You know what I mean? A lot of people, especially just speaking of barbers and hairstylists in particular, um, because we're so talented and gifted at what we do, we want everybody to think that equates to big dollars and living well, doing well. And sometimes that's just not the case. You know what I mean? And people, they always post the good pictures on Instagram. You know, they never post, they don't want to post the bad. They only want to talk about the good times. They don't want to talk about the low moments. Unless it's in the past. You very rarely see people talking about what's going on in the present with
Yeah,
low moments. So I think it's dope, and I hope it give people courage, man, to to open up more and seek for help because like you said, you did business uh 20 years by yourself, and it's always better together. You know what I mean? And so I think it's dope.
man, appreciate you, brother. Mikhail?
I, I want to say one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And since I met you now a couple of years, and from the couple of times that we met before the event, this is what I'm going to say. Since the event, I was like in your guys' world, right? I came in your guys' world. From the beginning, I was nervous as can be, but yeah, I'm it's 11. So, but I was nervous, but this is what I noticed. I noticed of the brotherhood into that group, into that industry. People always try to introduce someone else to me or bringing me someone. I think it's David Motivate. He he was an amazing person that night who was trying to introduce me some other people who you know what I mean. It was like I felt it. I felt that you guys were like a community in that fashion. That and then I felt it also, and now that you start posting more, thank you. um I start seeing also, I read a lot of the comments because I see that this is where, you get the essence of someone is
Yeah,
in the comments what they are posting. So I pay attention to those things and I see how people support, how people, so this part, I would say that I'm really amazed to see that your group, Mike, you really have something special going that you fund, you started, right? That you keep going and that people need in your industry. So please don't stop.
thank you,
And this is so dope to see. The aspect of support for one another that is very genuine. So I love
thank
it.
you, thank you. We don't have any questions in the chat, Jamal, Clippers, and everyone else who was in the chat. Those of you all who are watching afterwards, I appreciate you making it this far. Because you've made it this far at the end, if you're watching now at this moment, now you have an opportunity to take a part of this. I am going to do something very special for you. Reach out to me and just type in the in the code in all caps Barbershed 2019. And what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to do a group coaching on the very first class that I taught in 2019. I'm going to give it to you absolutely for free. If you made it this far, you type me in my DM, all caps, Barbershed 2019. I'm going to set you up in the group chat and I'm going to show you all of my mistakes, how I turned it around, and then I'm going to get you connected to people like Frenchie, and if you need product development, Mikhail, can you get on and just kind of coach us on how to get into product development and brand development? Yeah, yeah. And J Ruff, I'm putting you on the spot too. J Ruff, can I get you in on it on like coaching us on that competitive mindset, how to tap into that dog that we all need?
Anything for you, brother.
I appreciate it. So we're gonna get ready to close out. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And we're gonna get out of here. Thank you. Oh,
French.
and just remember, just
Yeah,
keep the app
out
open.
or do the connection, Giraffe, so I can help you out so we can connect tomorrow or during the week.
No doubt.
Yep, no
Thank
problem.
you,
Hey,
Mike. Thank you,
so
Mikael.
so all of y'all
Miguel, blessings
just
to you too, brother.
when we close out, just keep the app open so that your recording is finished uploading to like the cloud. It'll tell you when it's done. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Thank
Bye bye.
Yeah. All right. Peace. Hey, should I hang?